Afternoon, everybody. Doug Jenkins from the Findlay Hancock County Chamber of Commerce. We are celebrating member anniversaries today. Mike Yammine from Systems Group Technologies joining us, celebrating 15 years as a Chamber of Commerce member. Mike, thanks for taking time out of your afternoon.
Thanks. Yeah, glad to help.
I'm very excited to talk to you. You work in a space that I think is absolutely fascinating, and that being not only technology but also automation technology. Let's get people familiar with Systems Group Technologies if they aren't, and just everything that you do right now.
Yeah. Primarily, as I typically tell people, we do automation and controls. So, automating anything from machinery, like in automotive manufacturing and that space, food, beverage industry, we've done stuff there. But mostly what we've done over the last number of years has kind of been automation in the wastewater industry, landfill. We're doing quite a bit with that. And we also do quite a bit in government, like Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, in research cells that are doing everything from fuel engine research, jet engine research. On the wastewater side, which is real big for us, is been trying to get all the processes working from influent flow coming into the plant, dealing with everything to getting clean water going out. So we use programmable logic controllers, which is essentially an industrial type computer. And then we also do a lot with operator interfaces, or human machine interface, some people will call it, which is typically going to be a touch screen mounted in a panel that operators can go up and do work from, or computers that are a little more high tech and doing data logging and trending and being able to do reports and can do a lot of that automatically. We also are doing some stuff with power cogen facilities and power generation. And probably one of our more fun projects we've done not so recently in the past was a marina project down in the Bahamas. And we did a couple
That's
of
not
those.
too bad.
Yep. And everybody wants to go there and help.
I was going to say a lot of on-site surveying for that one, right?
Yep, exactly. So, it's all pretty much around programming, computer type stuff. So, from our end, we've got a mix of people now. We've got electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, and network engineering. So we kind of have a mix of technology people working on projects. So, it's fun stuff, pretty much. It's fun to work on usually.
It's all very interesting. The things that you do certainly put the lights that I tell to turn on and off with my Alexa at home to shame. But it's all kind of part of that ecosystem. How did you get into this space to begin with?
Well, my background education wise is I'm an electrical engineer. I'm an Ohio Northern University grad. And out of school, I ended up going to work for Marathon Pipeline Company. And basically, I kind of got into power controls, a mix of stuff, and it just kind of led into doing more and more with the controls and communications of things talking together, whether it be the computers, the programmable logic controllers, different devices, and networking, all that stuff. And then trying to bring that back a lot of times through wireless, cellular, different communication networks to get that back to a centralized control room. And in some cases that might be within a facility locally, and other places that's, can cover, many, many miles, or the country or the world. So trying to bring and network this stuff together kind of just became a thing I got into. And back 15 plus years ago, a little more than 15 years ago, when we started the vision of starting the company, we actually had a couple different things we were working on at the time. And we started up our parent company to Systems Group Technologies as YHY Group, and YHY Group got formed. And the Y, the H, and the Y is my dad, another gentleman who's retired and no longer working for us, Pat Helm, and myself. And we had really kind of three different business units we were working on. And in the end, it kind of funneled out that Systems Group Technologies just was the one that worked out really well and kept going. And we were primarily looking at doing more IT support. But as I started working in the company and people kept calling and saying, hey, can you help with this project and that project? I was working in the space I was always doing with the whole automation and control industry. And we just kept evolving that. So the other divisions that we were working on at the time, we kind of decided to let those go because they were moving a little more slowly. focused on system group, and basically that's been 15 years now or so. Probably a little more. We joined the chamber shortly thereafter. So
Yeah.
yeah, so we're a little more than the 15 years, but we joined the chamber to kind of be part of the community, and then I've been involved in the technology infrastructure committee, which is kind of an offshoot and partner with the
Yeah.
chamber, the TIC committee here in Findlay, Hancock County. And just because of doing that and being at the chamber, it just seemed natural we should participate in being a chamber member and have the benefits of the networking and things like that. So
I think we should also mention Dion was just telling me that your dad was a former board president at the chamber here. So
yep.
a lot of ties to the organization.
Yeah, and that again, partly, my dad was big in community involvement and participating in the community, and all that stuff. So it kind of felt like this is the right thing to do, to be a chamber member and participate and be part of things, and still do that today, and still try and participate in a lot of the TIC meetings and other things in our community as well. But yeah, he had a long history and did a lot of stuff with the community here, and pretty proud of what he did back then. So
Absolutely. I have to imagine when you're putting these projects together, it has to feel like you're putting together a bit of a puzzle where you don't even have a picture of reference. You kind of have maybe a sketch of, hey, this needs to talk to that. And if you do it the way I do, it probably looks like a jumbled mess, that type of thing. You probably do it a lot better than I do. But that's got to be the satisfaction of the things that you do, is being able to put these systems together where maybe there's just not a script to do it when you first start.
yeah, and that's well, funny you bring that up. Exactly, the stuff I've been working on yesterday and today is kind of an offshoot of that. We're working on a project here with a local landfill, and there's a big project going on, and trying to put all the pieces together of that puzzle, as you said. There's all these old pieces that aren't coming together, and everybody there says, "Hey, you need to call Mike up. He can fix that and do that." And so basically, yesterday and today has been reacting to problems they had with getting the whole final project together, and we're getting all these different pieces to come together and work. And a matter of fact, after I get done with this evening, I've got plans to go over there, and we're going to work this evening to get a couple of these things installed and up and running and get the project finalized. But I also teach as an adjunct professor at Owens Community College here in Findlay, and teach in the engineering department, and do some controls, a couple different classes. And as I always tell the students there, I always say basically that you've got this big problem. You just need to break it down into little pieces, solve every little piece one at a time. And, if you're trying to make, in the case you talk about your house, and you're trying to make all these things work together, get your thermostat figured out, and then figure out how to tie it into something else, and figure out how your lights work. Just solve one of those at a time. And then in the end, it'll all come together. And that's exactly, what you have to do. And a lot of what we do, I call it design build, because a lot of things we get involved in are not fully architected, in the sense of this is exactly how it'll work. It's a vision, and you're trying to make that vision come to life and work with people to do that. So it's really kind of a design build, and that's a space we've been really good at working at, basically trying to solve problems that way. And to me, it doesn't matter that it wasn't written out on paper exactly how it works. It's like, tell me what you want to do, and let's work it out, and we'll go through that. And that's fun. It's, it makes it a fun job that way. Challenging. It's very rewarding in the end when you make it work. So
Times where it's frustrating, I'm sure.
yeah.
This should be working. Why won't it work? And then finally you find the one thing that was preventing it. So
Yeah.
For people interested in going into this field, because I think it's important to highlight that we have these types of high-tech jobs right here, Findlay, Hancock County, and the region, that if there's a kid right now who is interested in electrical engineering or something like that, I think it's really important for them to know that there are jobs like that pretty close to home. What's what kind of person are you looking for when you go out to hire? What are the characteristics that make a good engineer for you?
Well, I think pretty much a problem solver. I mean, that's pretty much what it boils down to. And I think a lot of engineering is you go and learn all this theory and everything. You learn how all these equations came to be and all that. But in the end, you're a problem solver, and you're really learning how to solve problems. So I think that's really what you need, is somebody who's practical. There's certain people that are really smart theoretically, and I guess I feel a lot of times those people are the ones that are teaching. And I like more the problem solving end of it and applying it. So I think really to me that's what I'm looking for, the hands on. And oftentimes it doesn't matter whether you're an engineer or a technician. Did you get a 2-year degree, a 4-year degree? That really boils down to, are you a problem solver? I really feel strongly the educational process is good because it
Mhm.
teaches you how to solve problems and you learn. But whether it's a 2-year degree, 4-year degree, or a master's or a doctor, it all depends kind of what level you're going to. So definitely, I talk to people and tell them education's important, and going and learning things, but I try and help them to really, what are you looking to do? What do you want to do? And what are you good at? And you may evolve from one thing. You may think you're mechanical and you become electrical, or electrical become mechanical. And,
Right.
so it'll evolve over time, as you start getting into a program. So,
Mike, if people want to learn more about system group technologies and just everything that you do, or maybe they have a project that they've been thinking about, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
So basically, you can reach out via our website, which is at sgtek.net, is the short version, sgtek.net. Yeah, basically, email, I can be reached by email. It's Yammine, Myammine, and then I use at systemsgrouptech.com, systems with an S, grouptech.com. And
Very
email me,
good.
and that'd be the best way to get in touch and get things going, and be happy to
Awesome.
help people if there's something we can solve their problem, or just like you say, if they want to learn about it.
I love the being able to help people learn more about the business community and the history of it and how the different types of industries are here. So that's great to hear. Mike, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Thank you for being a member for 15 years and all of your contributions to the community and here at the Chamber.
Yep. Well, been happy to participate and enjoy being a part of the community here, and a lot of good things in Findlay and Hancock County going on. So,
Most definitely. Well, that will do it for our member anniversary segment. We're back with more. I think we've got a ribbon cutting coming up later this week. I know I say I think that. I know we do. I just don't know off the top of my head what time it is. But if you're following us on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, you will see everything happening in the Findlay and Hancock County business community. For Mike, I'm Doug Jenkins. Have a great afternoon, everybody.